Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Miranda and today I'm going to share about how to set up a reading journal that is for a person like me who cannot draw, who cannot do any lettering whatsoever, who doesn't have time to really have elaborate drawing and fully decorative reading journal. Then this video is for you. For the rest of you who's looking for a very decorative, elaborate reading journal, then this might not be for you. So if you are, let's get started and I will let you know step by step to do a reading journal setup for 2024. First of all, again, you need a notebook that you like. Mine, I always choose the Midori or MD diary, MD notebook for my reading journal, and this time it is a grid notebook. It's a blank, but it's a grid notebook. And then second, you might want to have all the supplies. Very important that I have a dot glue and then some pens and pencil, right? And then ruler and eraser, and also some kind of marker, any markers you like. I use the Zig Clean Color Dot and a probably zebra click art. And also, if you like, you might want to have a highlighter. Zebra midliner is mine. So those two are needed. The third thing that you need to do is to find out what would you like your reading journal be. Is it just recording books that you read and the feelings that you have after you read your book? Or is statistics very important for you? What would you like to keep track on your reading journal? That's also important, right? So for me, it comes in evolutions. In 2021, I'm using my Hobonichi Wix to record what I read. And it's actually very simple. I just write down the date that I read the books, right? And then I like the book rating, the title of the book, when do I read the book. And then for me, what's important is because I read a lot of books and I keep forgetting what's the plot about or what's the book about. So that's why the reading journal is actually to record what is the book about. So it's more about the plot of the story, what the story is about, who's the characters, and what happens at the end of the book. So basically, if you read my reading journal, it'll be like a spoiler, total spoilers, because that's what I want in my reading journals. But everyone is different, right? Some people just want to record their feelings. A lot of people would like to record the statistics of it all. So everyone is different. The second reading journal is in 2022, I think. I've also read a lot of nonfiction books. So that's why I started with the, again, MD notebook, but in B6. And it is very decorative. I write it with lots of stickers because back then I still have the time. I write down the title and what's important in the book. So next time I don't need to reread the book again. Instead, I could just read the summary of the book. And decorate it with lots of stickers. This is all my summary of the non-fiction books that I read. And then it evolves into the fiction book. It takes me to the fiction books that I read. This is where it started. What do I need? I need a cover of the book to make it nicer. And then what's the genre, the format where I read it, and how many pages it is, and when is it published, and when do I finish reading it. And then in here, it'll be like a summary of the book, like whether, and then I'll give it stars, whether I enjoy it or not. I treasure it because it's very nice to have one bound book, and the reading journal is very simple. I have no setup whatsoever. I just come and write down what I read. That's it. I change it into A5 great notebook as well. until this year, in the beginning or at the end of this year, I saw a lot of the reading journal setup that is very elaborate, very, very nicely done, very decorative, and they draw inside. Then I think, hey, I can improve my reading journal without having to go through all those elaborate setup. I just started to set up a new notebook, but I might get to it in the middle of this year. And some of the reading journal setups that I've seen over the YouTube is very interesting, and it motivates me. But then again, realistically for me, I do not have that much time to draw, that much time to spend for things that I don't think is that much important for me, right? So I try to make it as simple as possible without spending that much time, right? So I think, what do I need in my reading journal that I haven't even perfected in the old ones, right? The first one is the index, right? It's very easy. I just need a letter, stickers, and then write down the date, the title, and the ratings. And the second one is the book ratings. How do I do my book ratings? And then the third one that I need, which is the new release books. So I did it very simply. I used the clean color dot to do the lettering in here, the 2024 new release books. And then I used the zebra click art, right, to do the month. And then I also like to keep track the book club picks. I live in Indonesia, so I cannot join any book clubs whatsoever in US. We can only keep track from the Instagram. Then if I want to read the book, right now I'm reading all solely via Kindle. I've never buy physical book anymore because I do not have the space to put all those books, and I read a lot. So I decided to read through Kindle since like 6 years ago, and I read more in Kindle than in like physical books. The book club picks, I usually follow the Reese's Witherspoon book clubs, the Good Morning America book clubs. I also follow the Book of the Month club, which usually they have 1 month, they have a couple of books, right? So I also make another setup for Book of the Month list. And then the next one, I also wanted to have a to be read list. I make it very simple, right? Just, have I read it or not yet? And then what's the title and who's the author? And then going to reading statistics, which this one I'm still not sure, because I did my 2023 reading list statistics and I found out that I really don't like to keep up with it. I mean, it takes time for me to do. All I need to know is in that month, how many books that I read, how many is nonfiction, and how many is fiction. So going to book series, which is a must for me because I read a couple of series and I want to keep track of it. And all I need to do is just highlight it when I finish reading it. And then I also want to write down my bookstagrammers. Like, so I write down the Instagram accounts that I like, that I follow. So those are my very simple setup. That is number 3, to find out which layout you need for your reading journal, right? And you can do it very simple. You can have the idea from all the YouTubers without having all the decorations and make it work for you. For me, it's very simple, it's very doable. All I need to do is just pen and write it down and I'll be satisfied with it, right? And then number 4, if you would like to have your book cover with you, I have a lot of to be read right here, if you can see. What I do is I printed out all the books that I want to read using Canva for printing out or put this on the layout. In Canva, it's very simple. All you do is just create a blank page and then you just copy the image and put it in that blank space. And my measurement is 40 by 60. So if you want to know more about that, maybe drop it in the comments below and I will reply to you there. Number 5, how you keep up with your reading journal is I suggest as soon as you finish reading your book, I would write down the feeling right away instead of waiting it to be like 1 or 2 weeks after, or when you have the time. I would do a journal entry right away, like what is my feeling about this book and what is the story about, so I keep it fresh. And the 6 points is for you to enjoy your finished reading journal. It'll be a treasure, and you can look back at it again and again after a couple of years. And there's a satisfaction of finishing the whole reading journal and continue it until the new year. That's all for me today. I hope this video helps you out to explore and make your own very simple, very customized reading journal without having all those decorations, but you can certainly make it work as well. So thank you for watching my videos, and I will see you next week for a brand new video. Bye-bye.